ذكريات
عبود أعطي أختك اليد يا ولد.
ابتكرنا فيها ابتكارات، وإذا بغينا قلبناها خرافات. كنا نحسبها بس لمة وصحبة وسهرات،
انتبه نوب ترى نوب.
لكن كنا نشوف عالم ما حد يشوفه.
ليته يشغل وقته بشيء يفيده.
الله عليك على الهيدسوت.
عالم كبر وعاش فينا، عالم الحماس فيه يوصلك كل مرة لحلم أصعب بس ما يصعب عليك. بارد معك وين ما تروح.
But it's time here. Match point for Onyx. One more game, and we'll see who is going to be moving on to the next stage, or whether Echo can look to pull longer. It's time to draft.
Echo has the choice here. They've lost last game, so now they can say, I want to stay red, or I want to go red, and indeed they do. Here's
'24. Good day, everyone, from the beautiful city of Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. My name is Lafel. Alongside with me is our analyst. It's Wolf and Leo, where we'll be looking at Group C. And how are you guys feeling, gentlemen?
Oh, shukran for asking. It's my debut on the analyst stand, and I've been watching you guys do your work the past couple of days, and I can't wait to share what I've known, what I've seen so far in the groups.
I have to be honest, and I think that all of the fans of Mlbb who has been following us for a while knows this. I'm legitimately scared today.
Oh, here's the thing. Today is Group C. I'm excited, happy, scared, and I know I already said scared, but I'm going to double it down. I'm afraid as well, because a lot of things can happen for today. But let's talk about yesterday, man, because yesterday, it was quite the roller coaster ride, because up until the end, we were unsure who is actually going to be the ones making into the knockout stage.
I think it came down to the very last matchup, wherein if it ended in anything but a sweep, we would have seen a tiebreaker matchup which extended day 2, which would have extended the lives of teams in that group. But as it is, I think we've seen the shocks, we've seen the twists and turns early in the day, which allowed for the ending to be just as sweet.
Fireflux just really made my day yesterday, not because of what they were able to achieve, but because of how they now have woken up, and I think that they're performing as advertised, because this is what we expected them to be performing at. But, you know, they kind of increased that level because we saw that even TNZ is playing Assassins now, you know. So I'm very happy about the results from yesterday.
Well, for you guys, just in case if you guys missed what happened yesterday, here's a quick recap of what happened in day 2 of Group A.
Welcome to Riyadh, the host country of MSC 2024, where legends clash and glory awaits. The alien takes the shot for Rosa to secure it. He gets him! JPL now extending.
As you guys saw in the recap, a lot of emotions being around, you know, for the winning team and the losing team. One thing that didn't show was the keys. After we know which teams is going to the knockout stage, the teams that didn't make it through, we saw the hydraulic press stomping on the knees of the losing team.
I'm not so sure if that's the exact sound, but I'm pretty sure it was bone crushing.
Yes.
It was agonizing for the teams. And just with the recap, you know, I was reminded of not just how Fireflux finally came out as advertised, as expected, but also the shocking consistency of NIP Flash. Because I gotta tell you, man, I gotta tell you, Singapore's on the rise. Singapore is on another level now.
Yeah, I agree.
Who saw that coming?
We did. We did.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
I mean, like, here's the thing, Leo. Here's the thing, Leo.
This guy.
You did an amazing job yesterday casting, but we got to look at Pepsi's top reaction from what happened yesterday.
Now Takashi with the Black Dragon form into the back line. Three-man Petrify, but they have the Purify now as they'll be able to escape for now. King gonna be caught all alone. The Light Compounds is enough to deal with him, and that's a 3-for-1 trade despite the big plays being made by RQ Akira. Three-man taunt, he does, but he'll pay for it with his life.
That's it.
Sunshine of the Mistwalker to the front again to crack that base open, and it's game one over to Fireflux.
Knocked up onto Luis Ford. Now he'd like to find a ball being committed as well. The best pass goes to Lagosta. He's down. Diablo finds the pick of a lifetime, trading his life. Back with the Lord is too strong. It's too big. Annabelle's melted down. Fluffy tries his best, but they can't clear up these waves. Sunshine going straight for the base to get the 2-0 against Evil Glory.
As I was talking about the keys, our Pepsi star reaction actually shows the keys. And can we have an insight of your reaction when you saw the keys getting crushed?
Like,
Oh, he just showed us.
He just showed us.
He
Yeah.
didn't talk about it.
Yeah. That's how I no, but it's heart-wrenching, especially because you know that this actually is sentimental against the players because it's literally their keys that has to be destroyed, and then eventually it will be piled up and will be given to the victors. It kind of is it's a trophy of your conquest.
Yeah,
basically.
for the first time in I think the history of our esport, your tournament life became tangible. Your tournament life it got physical, fam. Can I just say that? It got physical.
It definitely got physical. In fact, there's a lot more for us to talk about, but let's check out Aramco top 5 plays. Well, we'll talk about the plays yesterday because I feel like in terms of the highlights, we're looking at Rosa as well as Diablo. Either way, either they're the one dishing the plays or they're the one receiving the plays. The top 5 plays of Aramco, we gotta check it out.
Okay, so this I believe is Takashi is catching the backlines. Obviously, very good performance from RQ, but eventually, Fireflux were able to find bigger openings as Rosa was able to just utilize the Valentina to its fullest. I think this was the game where was able to copy like the dragon form and the Cho, the way of the dragon, many times.
And here again, the aforementioned NIP Flash serving it up to Evo's Glory. Honestly, I could have sworn that maybe Evo's Glory had it in them, but NIP Flash on a whole nother level, man.
Yeah, Curtizi as well. Absolute monster. A lot of NIP Flash plays were actually showed yesterday. And again, like this is they're on the receiving end against RQ.
But they recovered.
They recovered.
That's right. Also, this is top 2. Gusta La Gusta getting a kill, but eventually, I think he will get a triple here. But Hades will steal, quote-unquote, secure the Lord, and then he gets a kill afterwards. And then obviously Diablo just nailing it there. This is a damage-dealing Ruby, by the way, not a roam Ruby.
That's a Diablo Ruby.
Exactly. But Kurt, obviously, very much on point, untouched during that entire clash.
Always situational awareness. Now for number 1, here we see the highlight play from our Fireflux esports that secured them the slot in the knockouts. And as early as the turtle, man, as early as the turtle, they are that on point. They know when the killer instincts kick in.
I gotta say, I thought Clocker would have had it because we actually went to the late game, and this is a Xavier we're talking about, but those were the games for yesterday. Now we gotta talk about the ALJ match of the day. Boys, it's gonna be Homeboys going up against TLPH. Again, let's check out ALJ match of the day because it is going to be our final match of the day. And again, I don't know how to feel about this, boys. I'm Malaysian, you guys are, from the Philippines.
Are we?
It's a good thing we're on different sides of the stage. Let's just say that.
Usually this is the part where you ask us, Wolf, Leo, how do you feel about the matchup? But how about we table the turns? How about it, LaFell? How do you feel about Homeboys going up against the MPL Philippines Season 13 champions?
I'm the host, I'm the host. I'm should be the one getting all those questions, but since you asked me so nicely, terrified. If I could sum it up in one word, I would say terrified. How do you guys feel? You guys feel that confident?
Yeah, it's like the M4 champions, They went second. They also got good plays like last MSC. They're pretty itchy, pretty chill.
Fine. Let's talk more about it when we look at the schedule. Let's look at all the 4 games for today because we got a banger for you guys here. Twisted Minds going up against Homeboys. Afterwards is going to be TLPH going up against Team Spirit. Twisted Minds will be going up against Team Spirit while they be playing back-to-back in our ALJ match of the day. Homeboys against TLPH.
I love it. Today's matchups feature villains. They feature dark horses. They feature anti-heroes. And they feature teams on revenge tours. Proven to the world that they belong on top of the Mlbb esports world. That's just Group C, man. I'm loving it. I'm happy that Group C is on Showcase here today.
Series 1 will be our game number. Series number 1 of best of 2 will be Mr. Nobody, Coach Nobody, which is Coach Jeff, Filipino, going up against Coach Lyric, also a Filipino. That's exciting.
Sure, it is exciting. But honestly, folks, the first 2 series of the day is going to be big because the first one is go big or go home, boys. Because in this game, if Homeboys wins 2-0, they'll be advancing to the knockout stage. That does mean that Twisted Minds, they'll be knocked out.
So all the more, it's a sweet victory if Twisted Minds are able to defeat the odds, right?
Exactly.
What I'm excited for is the big game that these two teams talk, right? Despite how dangerous it is for Twisted Minds, let me throw you back a little bit to the VOV gaming front at Riyadh front about 2 or 3 weeks back when Twisted Minds went into the grand finals. They were talking a big game prior. They were saying, hey, there's no challenge for us here at MPL MENA. We're #1 team. What are y'all talking about? What do we got to do? And here they are now fighting for tournament life. Yeah. I love it. And let's not forget Udil. Let's not forget Homeboys. I'm a big fan of Udil. I'm going to say he's one of my top 5 favorite players right now.
I mean, here's the thing. In wrestling terms, I would say Homeboys is the heel. They're the one that's taunting because it's not just Udil, it's Chibi as well. Every once in a while, you will hear something coming in from Zorn too, but even with all the talk, all the smack they've been delivering, I gotta say, everyone's a fan of them. People love it.
Yeah, loving the spicy Kage that's in Homeboys. But most importantly, I think the entirety of Homeboys, I guess, have marinated well in the scene. It took a long time. I think the early stages of MPL Malaysia, Homeboys were not expecting a lot.
Exactly.
During the grand finals, you did not really literally expect them to be at the grand finals, but then they performed well against SRG. I think they have marinated well in the scene, and group stage was a perfect performance from them.
I would say, you know what, people were still shaking on Chibi, on the Ling, as well as on the Joy. But the thing is, this is where they have to give their all. They have to give their best. Because for Homeboys, again, this is their... If it goes to a 1-1, no eliminations will be held by any team. And I gotta say, I'm gonna jump ahead, but the next game as well, TLPH going up against Team Spirit. If Team Spirit lost 0-2 against CLPH, then that's done. They're going to be eliminated as well. So the first 2 series of the day, it's going to be an elimination match.
Already hyper, ultra, mega, high stakes. So just to start. This is eating your dessert before the main course.
That's how I do it.
That's how he does it.
It's the right way to do it.
Yeah.
This is like Wolf knows me. Wolf knows me good enough that he knows I eat my dessert first. And for you guys, I gotta say, you guys have to give your predictions at STC Prediction here. Make sure you guys log into the website because we want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think Homeboys got it, or you guys think Twisted Minds will twist their minds and win game number 1 and game number 2?
I'm pretty sure that's a spin.
You know what? Spin, twist it. Let's spin this. Let's throw it over to the stage.
And all the beautiful people around the world coming to you all the way from Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
أيها السيدات والسادة، مرحبا بكم في اليوم الثالث من بطولة MSC في ال EWC.
My name is Mara Aquino.
And my name is Dawood Sandstorm.
And welcome to the Amazon Arena. So today we have the hometown heroes and the wild card winners headlining Group C matches.
And this is going to be a battle for tournament life when it comes to Twisted Minds, especially after their 0-2 scoreline against the Cavalry.
Now for the homeboys, it'll be a different story. Might be a different story. They're sitting right at the top, and this might just be their ticket to the knockout stages.
And now looking to extend their stage and looking to extend their journey right here at the EWC at MSC. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Amazon Arena, Twisted Minds. Now, looking at the jungler when it comes to Twisted Minds, Huda and his mastery of assassin junglers, he could be the key to unlocking the next step and the next stage when it comes to Twisted Minds.
They're definitely gonna need his assassin mastery because going up against them is the Malaysian sensation, the wildest one in the wild card. Introducing Homeboys. Homeboys are currently on a 4-game win streak since the wild card. And you know what's interesting about them, Sandstorm? We have the coaches, Coach Jeff, or also known as Coach Nobody, and Coach Lyric for the Twisted Minds. They're opponents right now, but they used to be teammates. So I was talking to Coach Jeff earlier, and he was saying that he's feeling butterflies in his stomach. Not the wrong kind. Not nervous at all, but he's very excited to outdraft his opponent. Now, let's see how it's gonna turn out for them.
I mean, look, going from friends to enemies on one of the biggest stages in the world when it comes to Mobile Legends history, it has got to be one heck of a feeling to be here on this stage. But when we are looking at Twisted Minds, they have to be looking to break that 4-win streak that Homeboys are on if they want to keep their hopes and dreams alive and stay here at MSC 2024.
Ultimately, there can only be one winner. Now, in partnership with the Esports World Cup, each team are given a unique key representing their success here in this prestigious tournament.
That's right, and in day 2 of group stage, we saw 2 teams get eliminated, and I believe we saw 2 keys get absolutely destroyed, and that is what's going to happen because at the end of the day, there can only be one MSC 2024 champion.
And for that, we also need a champion-worthy gaming phone. So if you take a look at the players, all of them are doing their ping tests right now using the Asus ROG, powered by Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 mobile platform.
That's right, Asus ROG is the official gaming phone of MSC 2024 here at EWC.
Sandstorm, the stage is set.
That it is.
The players are ready to go?
That they are.
So how about let's go back to the studio for our panelists. Time to shine.
Thank you very much, Mara, as well as Dawood Sandstorm. Dude, we got a lot to talk about. First of all, he is sick. And Malaysian Sensation, I love it.
That they are. Second to you. I think you were the very first canon Malaysian Sensation. And now with the spice that Homeboys have cooked up and we lovingly ate, they are now the Malaysian Sensation. What does that make SRG, though, the other Malaysian?
Yeah, what does that make SRG?
We'll figure it out when it comes to the Group B, because right now we got to talk about Twisted Mind going up against Homeboys. Like, we got to talk about how, again, our hosts were talking about the assassin matchup here, where Twisted Mind, Huda is pretty good on those assassins. But here's the thing. Chibi got a Savage on the Ling. So this might be a situation where either we see both teams going for those assassin junglers, or it's going to be a matchup where, like, I'm going to pick up the assassins on you, whether you want to pick up the assassin or you want to go old school and go back to the utility junglers.
If Ling is banned, I think that Roger will be increasing the emphasis on Roger, because that is a flex hero pick, which you technically can play as a marksman, but you can also play as assassin jungler, right? So that could be a point of contention between these two teams.
Can I just say, I'm a little uncomfortable in the current metagame as it's developing from the wild card to the first few days of the group stage, because you mentioned LaFell, the option to go back to being a utility jungler. There's barely two good options, man. There's Baksha, and there's...
No. I mean, if you get creative, though.
On a good day, Fredrin.
Yep.
Where else do you go?
Alpha's the last one.
Alpha's a fighter.
No. Listen.
Right.
Listen, this isn't a utility, but one amazing jungler that you would love. The Bane.
Sure. Oh, don't even get me...
Dude, the Bane.
The Bane, though. The Bane, though. Dude. Which was played by MP the King.
MP the King.
On Stream B, day one.
That was too much, man.
I count every single time Bane is played on the pro scene. But yeah, again, those are odd options.
The triple C hurts, bro.
No, I feel like...
Crablock Cannon.
The other the option is, the better it becomes, because you don't expect that hero to be good. I mean, like,
the option, the better it becomes.
Like, again, like my dad said, just because you're right doesn't mean I'm wrong.
I love your dad, by the way. He's so wise when it comes to Mlbb.
Yeah,
I wish to meet him one day.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, we're jumping straight into the game. Twisted Mind's gonna be on the blue side. First pick, Homeboys. Second pick, red side. And this is interesting. Homeboys batting out the Fanny.
This is probably one of Hoda's, I would say,
one of his best heroes.
Or signature picks. At the same time, this kind of tells me that they might be considering opening up both Louis as well as Chip.
I mean, Louis has, lost the 100%, so
yeah,
maybe they have answers too. Maybe Zorn wants to use the Lolita.
Yeah, 92% is still pretty strong, So yeah, they will just ban it out.
Never mind. Chip is still out there, though. Not once have we seen Chip in the MSC group stage.
I think for the group stage, it's 100% ban, right?
That's right.
Never been picked.
Never. More often seen as a ban in the red side,
I would say Homeboys is one of those teams that's willing to let one strong hero go, say a Ling or a Luyi, and open up the Chip for a chance for them to pick it up themselves.
Yeah, that sounds like
if any team would do it, Homeboys would do it.
That sounds like a...
Zorn loves the Chip.
Like a Homeboys thing.
Like a Homeboys thing.
Yeah. All the Flame Boys agreeing with me right now.
Yep. I think with this Arlott ban, you also are looking for that Chip first pick. Arlott is a hero that I think conceptually counters the Chip, not because it hard counters it, but when you do initiate, you have that final slash that just, is...
you have a fighting chance. Essentially, you have the
option. Reset button.
Yeah, reset button.
Almost always single-handedly, if you catch 3 or 4 that come through the portal, it just undoes the surprise initiation. I like it.
So now it's really on Homeboys. Do they want to take the risk? Because it does look like Twisted Mind, they do want the Chip.
What if? In their namesake, Twisted Minds, it takes a villain to know a villain. What if they get the Chip?
No, exactly. I feel like Homeboys is playing this this 5D chesting is like,
Oh,
okay, they're like, okay, at the end of the day, it's too much. Just ban it. So Roger first pick. Oh, Valentina first.
All right, so we've seen a lot of Valentina picks.
Paramis is open.
That means that
Valentina's good, but still.
that means that the Ling will be available. But I believe that Ling is. I mean, Valentina is one of those mages that you kind of want to pick up when there's Ling or there's assassins in general, because it's a mage that is not a nuke mage. It's not a sit behind the backlines kind of mage where you're susceptible. You can actually you can fight the Ling.
she's a CQC mage.
CQC, close
Quarters combat mage.
All right.
Yeah. She likes to get in there. She likes to play in the paint.
Homeboys has options because they've shown both the Ling as well as the Joy. Maybe they got something else cooking up, but if they don't pick up the Ling here, don't think that it's not an option just yet. Right now, Edith as well as Roger gets picked up.
Forget about it. That's Edith.
Forget about it.
#1 pick in Malaysia, if I'm not mistaken, for a good chunk in the regular season of Season 13. How does Twisted Minds respond? Again, you mentioned that Valentina doesn't mind the Ling, so they don't have to commit to the jungle just yet.
Exactly. So that means Teresa probably is the choice here for Twisted Minds. Good pick versus Roger in general. And then you're going to be looking for probably a roam now, knowing that there it is. The Minotaur, as well as the Teresa.
Shout out to Wolf, getting it correct 100% there. And now for Homeboys, I would say the safest one is probably the mid. Udil has me liking that Vexana, though.
Roger Jungle and Claude.
Showing it early.
Put it
early, though?
Put it in the hands of Nets. Nah, this is confidence.
Confidence, honesty. That's why you're seeing for Homeboys now. That means that you just...
Does that
you bet the AA Mon.
This is the AA Mon.
We got a player code. I'm very excited to know that Udil made it. It will be our first time to meet Udil on the international stage. I hope to meet him on the knockout stage. This is coming from Sans of Fnatic Onyx.
Hey, that is generational respect. Sans came in post Age of the Kage.
Yes,
He's just looking out who he came before.
Yeah.
Or who...
Respect.
I get it.
His precursor.
I got it.
Okay, so you are looking for...
I would say Twisted Mind ban out the mid laners.
The mid laners, Farsa.
The Farsa.
Well, there it is, the Vexana, which is traditionally an answer to the Minotaur as well as the Terizla.
Yep.
Especially with the access to the Wishing Lantern now, that means that you deal so much damage. And there is going to be the Moskov as the ban.
Oh no, what's Sano to play, man? This is weird because Sano just recently got used to playing gold again.
Yeah.
I don't know. Carry, like maybe if they go for an assassin jungler, maybe like a Ruby. Go. We keep saying Ruby Go, but he hasn't showed up.
Y'all keep looking for the 1-3-1, man. Yeah. It's been weeks.
It's been weeks. But then again, Ling Ruby looks really good for Twisted Minds, especially because you're gonna be funneling everything. You need some tankiness against both the Claude as well as the Roger. Makes a lot of sense to go for armor-based heroes now for Twisted Minds.
At this point, Twisted Minds, they gotta look at the options like a carry, a Brody, which Brody we haven't seen. I think we might have seen once, but yeah, we haven't seen a lot.
You know who else we haven't seen a lot of?
1-1.
Nathan.
Nathan, yeah.
We miss Nathan, man. He's out there in 2030 right now.
Yeah, dude.
He hasn't time traveled to today yet.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, so you're looking for Farsa here, or perhaps a Novaria, but it's you know, the thing with Novaria is that it's decent versus the Valentina, but at the same time it's a hero that you really farm on a lot, and with the Roger plus the Claude, it's gonna be difficult. So that's a joke. You reveal that the Edith is going to the EXP lane.
Yeah.
It's a Zorn special.
Zorn special. This is the TP Zorn.
It's a Malaysian Jordan hero.
Malaysian Jordan
That's
hero.
what I called him in MPLI last year, man.
Got it.
Hey, there were rumors of him having his last dance at M5.
That's right.
There were rumors, yeah.
But you can't put a good man down.
No, because he didn't make it out of groups, so this time he's like, I'm definitely making out of groups.
He can't end his career on an L, bro.
Got it.
It's going to be... I think the Ling really sounds good for Twisted Minds. At the same time, you can just settle for a Julian. Or maybe a knock-up hero.
Maybe because of the show makes it so that they're really thinking about, do we really want that Ling? Because this is Zorn's show, man.
That's true.
I'm on the JJ.
There it is.
Oh!
Nathan Nolan.
You called it.
Nathan Nolan.
We called him. Say his name and he appears. Finally, Nathan makes it.
Yep. But then again, this means that the Farsa is so good against Twisted Minds. Another hero that I think about with good combination with the Edith is the Nana, actually. Or but knowing that the Nolan is available, maybe they'll settle for something like an Aurora so that they can they have an extra life versus the assassin. So I'm thinking Nana or Aurora for Homeboys.
Either way, it's time for the spicy boy Udil to make his decision. Only having a few seconds left on the clock. I say few, but we got like 10 seconds left. I feel like those are they're very solid pickups here.
Yeah.
Farsa is his main, so he's going for that Farsa pick. Looking at both teams, quite a lot of comfort as well. The Nathan finally shows up. Now that the draft has been settled, we're going to throw it over to our special friends, Trex and Gideon, to cast the game.
Thanks, Lavelle, Leo, and as well as Wolf. Yes, it is going to be me and Trex taking care of you guys for the next couple of games between Twisted Minds versus the Homeboys. And honestly, I'm thinking that draft looks kind of fire, Trex. What about you?
I think both teams definitely brought something to the field here. We got the Roger jungle kind of front to back with the Farza holding the backside. We get the Assassin on Twisted Minds, not to mention Valentina, Trizla, and then heavy CC with the Minnow. So I feel like both drafts very well-rounded in their own compositions.
I have to agree. So I think that the main driving forces are going to be the junglers, right? Nolan's going to be fast. We're expecting Roger to be just as quick. We're going to see whether or not these two teams have what it takes because we have similar play styles. They all played around early game, but they had to adapt.
Very, very true. And now as we get into this, I mean, what do we think? Early, late? Looking at both teams with, Roger, Nolan, both early game assassins. I'm trying to think of late game. What do we think scales better? The Natan or the Claude?
Oh, I think the Natan definitely is going to get to that dangerous point in that game. I think magic items in general allow you to outscale a majority of the in-game items and combinations we've seen so far. But that same build can be applied to Udil, right? That Holy Crystal is so powerful.
And with that too, there is a lot of magic damage on the side of Twisted Minds, just taking a look at it. Homeboys are a little bit more well-balanced, I think, in terms of things, with a little bit of action. Zorn gonna get chipped down to about half health. Chibi looking for the poke damage on a troll there. Nobody's gonna go down. Lethal Wander does go over to the side of Twisted Minds.
Well, they might be able to get a little bit more here, but Udil is getting chunked out pretty hard by Cuffin.
Yeah, Zorn gonna get knocked up. Chibi looking for the first blood, able to find it onto Cuffin there. And I mean, a mid lane or two, a good takeaway from Twisted Minds.
A really clean dive there, right? They got the Purify out of him. Udil communicated it. GB now stealing a camp on top of it all. He shouldn't die here, but just the micro mechanics, right? Absorbing the turret shots from Zorn first before GB got in there.
I mean, Chibi's just all over the place right now. He's already cleared his whole camps. He's got one camp to go. He takes one from Twisted Minds. He's got a kill. He's going to start scaling, and this is something that Twisted Minds are going to need to look out for. And look, they're looking for the pick on Udil. Cuffin able to get a kill into his pocket after taking a death. Going to be able to make things up. Zorn looking for the knock-up on a Cuffin there. Troll going to get a knock-up back, but there's Hoda waiting for Zorn in the bush. They're going to back off, but still Twisted Minds showing they're not messing around.
I love the reply coming in from Twisted Minds, right? They purposely wait to punish Udil. They know he doesn't have a battle spell, and now they also know that Zorn doesn't have his flicker. So we can expect that Homeboys are going to take a step back here from this point onwards until we see level 4.
I mean, it's Turtle now. Troll about to hit level 4. Should be able to get it just in time. But where is Hoda? Hoda's just getting to this. Looks like we're gonna have a big 4v4. Down comes the feathered airstrike. Sanji able to get the knock-up. Chibi able to find the turtle, and now Sanji might just pay the price. But he's able to just get away, get some sustained flicker back. So a good save for themselves from Twisted Mind, but Homeboys still walk away with a kill now and the turtle.
Oh, Zorn coming in late to that fight, but honestly, I thought a lot more kills were going to happen. And with Zorn being as cocky as he is, he's going to find some information like Purple Buff is already done. Relay it back to Chibi, because I'm surprised that many people survived the fight.
I mean, one of the bonuses of Zorn, because he's always just so aggressive, is he's never late to the party. He can always find it, right? When you're always in the front line, when you're always ready for something, you can always find the play. And sometimes it bites him, sometimes it gets back, but when it's working out great for Zorn.
I mean, he is an early game monster, right? That's what Homeboys were known to do for a very long time. He has adjusted his plan, right? Because I think even when we look on Zorn on the map currently, yes, he's setting up for a dive on that top side, and I think that, ooh, hold on.
Sanji's been great at getting away, but he's not going to be able to get away with this one, but at least Zorn does go down, so it's a 1-for-1 EXP for Rome. Good trade for Homeboys, but at least Twisted Mind doesn't walk away with nothing.
Yep, Sanji did a really good job here, but the response...
Ooh, a little bit of damage on to Nets. Nets brought down to about half health. Will be able to get away using the Blazing Duet and the Purify, but he's probably going to lose this tower here. Twisted Minds find something in the chaos.
I love how Sano drops down the entropy in front of that bush. He's like, come on, if Nets, you walk up, you know what's going to happen. You better back away, kid.
Most definitely, and now things down to about a standstill. Homeboys holding what? About 1,000 gold lead, nothing too major. Twisted Mind still putting up a big fight. Hoda, 0 deaths. He's been able to farm. I don't think he's falling behind Chibi too far exactly, just 1 level right now. So things are still in the realm of possibilities for both teams.
Yeah, well, speaking of which, actually, as much as I would like to say he's not falling too far behind, the lead from Chibi so far is looking really good. Oh, wait.
Nice way the Dragon on Troll. Down comes Feathered Airstrike. Trolls the lead. It's Sanji looking for the penalty zone to try to delay. Buy Hoda some time to get into this fight. But do they even want to take it now with Troll gone, with their roamer gone? No. Hoda gonna back off and just go for the orange buff.
Well, they gotta protect it, right? I'm loving the rotations coming in from the Homeboys. It looks like all of this has been pre-planned, you know, pre-prepared. This looks like it's been practiced multiple times. The rotations that I am seeing from their side laners, both Subbat and as well as Nets, they're making sure they're not only covering the river, but they're also double-checking their camps just in case. If Twisted Minds ain't coming to our neutrals, they're probably going to look for our resources.
It's good, though, that Twisted Minds isn't exactly buying into it. They decide, no, we're not going to force this turtle. We ruse our roamer. They let Sano kind of play the bot lane, push the lane a little bit. They're not playing too reactionary, which can be good against a team like Homeboys, because Homeboys wants you to take the fight. They know they have a lead. They know they have a power spike, and they feel confident in it. Twisted Minds can't play into that, or they could fall short.
Funny enough, I was having the same conversation with Yasu earlier. I mean, we were both worried for each of our respective teams, but honestly, they play very similarly. If we compare them side by side during the regular season, very similar styles. I know for a fact that Twisted Minds wanted to play that early game, but this is a good adjustment. Both sides are just responding to each other's attacks, cross-map plays. It's a global game at this point.
Yeah, and Hoda's gotta find something here. He needs to try to close this level gap. He needs to get a kill. He needs to get some extra camps, but and you can see him searching. He just went up to the top lane to clear lane, get some more gold, because as long as he's a level or so behind, it makes those neutral objectives so much harder.
I mean, let's not forget, just the raw CC coming out from the Homeboys alone, right? Hoda really has to time his entrances perfectly.
And Homeboys looking to get him down to an even bigger deficit. Hoda forced to back off. Oodle drops Feathered Airstrike. Troll trying to get the engage with the Fury Flicker 3-man knockup. Cuffin able to find Sepot. Homeboys lose one. They're unable to get the purple buff either, so it is a loss for Homeboys. Twisted Minds finally finding something.
All right, let's look at the replay one more time. On this invade, Subbot tries to flicker away, but a great response coming in from Troll. Sees the angle to catch 3 people and take out basically a fish out of water, right? Subbot had no escape mechanics. He already used the onward, no flicker as well. I mean, what can you really do?
I mean, Twisted Minds just find a great moment there. And it just shows that they're still very much in this game. And whenever there's a Minotaur on the field, there are always some great possibilities.
Look at this build. What is Zorn doing? He wants to abuse some of the new mechanics, new items even. The brand new Cho feels good, but that Thunder Belt, oh my. And so early on as well. He's going to be stacking up so early.
Stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks.
When does
you get the passive stacks? Oh. You get the item stacks.
Yes.
He's throwing bands in the land of Dawn.
I mean, let's see how long he's going to be flexing for the time being, right? Because a couple of kicks have gone well. He still technically made that mistake up on the dive on top side. It might just happen again. It's still a close game, 3-4.
Most definitely, and Homeboy's at least holding a bit of a lead here, 2,000 gold. But as long as it stays under 3K, Twisted Mind still has a lot of possibilities, I feel like. Homeboy's, oh, Zorn gets away, the Dragon kicks him to the wall though. Sano with the entropy, able to pop back. Get a couple more pokes off onto Zorn. Back of the purple buff, Udo and Sepat still looking for purple buff, still looking for something to steal. It might be time for Homeboys to maybe back off a little bit, so maybe stop trying to invade as much. Twisted Minds are starting to hit a little bit of a spike. We're seeing more damage come from Cuffin, we're seeing more damage come from Hoda and the rest of the team.
I think instead of backing off, they need to pressure. They need to have a bigger pressure point on some of the members of Twisted Minds, right? We're definitely looking at people who have lost their battle spell, specifically Sano here. So I think that Homeboys, they're just waiting for Sano to show up on the map and then continue to gain space and hold it against him.
All right, taking a look back at these items, I want to take a look at the gold laners, Sano and Nets. Not too far apart. Nets has gotten almost to the Trinity build, almost got all three of those things locked in. Taking a look at Sano, we got the Starlium Scythe, we have the Feather of Heaven. I mean, he's sitting pretty close. Now, what time do we think that Sano really starts popping off? A lot of people consider the Natan a late game hero. Is 3 items enough, or will he need 4 more?
Well, I would like to say that 3 items would have been enough, but hold on.
Ooh, blazing duet on the Sanji. Sanji goes down, Oodle finds the feathered airstrike the longest distance. And now Zorn putting pressure as well. They're trying to sandwich Twisted Minds down to this mid lane. Homeboys break through these towers. Nothing but 1 tier 2 in the mid left, and then it's nothing but inhibitors after that.
Ooh, the heavy artillery support from Udil to secure kills rather than pepper them down just shows the versatility of Pharsa in the current meta state. Now, I will say, coming back to the topic of scaling, I think that Sano, Holy Crystal would have been the breaking point for them. But considering the lead that the Homeboys have generated, specifically around Chibi, he can basically one-shot him, right? So I think that Sano, he's still going to need that Blood Wings if he wants to protect himself.
Here's the thing, and even once the Roger starts to scale down just a little bit, if it gets to late game, they still have Nets, they still have Voodoo, they still have these powerhouse heroes in the Land of Dawn right now to just dominate. Looking at Oodle, we just got the Glowing Wand in, we got the Blood Wings. He's feeling good about himself. I think, what's the saving grace for Twisted Minds here? It feels like Hoda hasn't really been able to do much. Cuffin has gotten a couple kills on his belt, but we really need Sano to like get online here at some point.
Well, I mean, that's the problem with these late game scaling types of heroes. You just need gold. And unfortunately, Homeboys have particularly been taking out these turrets. And even with the Lord secured, right, there's even less opportunities to walk up and take extra economy.
Oh, bad kick. Oda, well, good kick for Homeboys. Oda goes down. Oodle also taking a tower on the mid side. Lord going to connect onto this top inhibitor. Zorn looking for the knockup, being aggressive. Brought down to about half health. Down comes the Feathered Airstrike. Sano takes about half a health of damage. Twisted Minds now still on the back foot. Conceal play comes out. Zorn, as usual, with the toss, holding it. I mean, he's just searching for, he wants to. He's like, come on, man. Come on, man. Just make a mess up. And this is what Homeboys does so good. They want to try to bait you out just a little bit.
I'm telling you, Twisted Minds and Homeboys are so much more similar than people would like to imagine. Both of them, the technically, quote-unquote, villains of their arcs, but mainly, they're just the baddest of boys.
It's the baddest of boys. But today, there can only be one. Who's the baddest? As we close into the 11-minute mark, some final looks at these items. Anything really coming out to you?
I mean, I'm looking at Chibi, and now he's 3K ahead. Previously, we were looking like, what, 5 minutes ago? He was only like 1K ahead. Not that big of a deal, as long as he doesn't snowball out of control. And I think we can safely say he is out of control. He's got 4 items already completed. And let's not forget the difference here between Suppot as well as Sanji. With the extra item from Suppot, he's more reliable in these engages, but he also has to respect that he doesn't have an escape mechanic, right?
Here we go.
Boys.
Toss, that's a T.
Yeah, that's the T. Yep,
T
you
for the
saw
toss.
You saw it. And don't forget, from the Homeboys POV, it's reversed. So it's corrected them for us. Hey, man, you get what you get.
I like it. Homeboys always bringing some entertainment to the Land of Dawn. Twisted Minds, though. They're down right now. It's getting tougher and tougher and tougher. I said it earlier that as long as they can keep the gold lead under 3K, they have a chance. But now we're looking at a 8K gold lead almost, 7.5K gold lead for Homeboys. Twisted Minds unable to eat right now. I mean, they've been getting no buffs. The lanes are getting frozen. They're losing camps, no objectives. It is just getting worse and worse. Twisted Minds are being oppressed by the Homeboys.
It's pretty difficult to watch, right? Especially if you are a MENA region fan. And I think that the Homeboys are doing a really good job with these cross-map plays. Hey, throw a punch here, but really you're taking away towers and resources on the opposite side of the map. And they've consistently done this for the past 6 minutes, all because of a simple 2K lead. I think at this point, Twisted Minds really just have to hunker down, hit 42K, and that's when we're going to see them really pop off here. Because unfortunately for their composition, they're not good at holding space. They're good at taking it.
But they're a long way away from 42K. And then even then, Homeboys will be at around 50 probably, maybe more, who knows. I think a lot of things are going to come down to, we saw the one time they got a great fight was when Troll got the big Minoan's Fury, right? When he was able to catch them off guard, and that's a huge win condition for them. Buy themselves some time, combo up some CC. So we need Troll to go Troll. We need Troll to bring out the hammer, bring out the mallet, and slam on that ground, make something happen, because if he doesn't, Homeboys just have free roam.
Hey man, he's not the only person that Twisted Minds need to...
Oh, big kick! Sanji gonna get pulled back to the team. Zorn does go down though, taking a lot of damage. We're starting to see Hoda pop off. Chibi able to find Sanji. Look, Asano entroping back into the base, into the fountain, trying to get some help, trying to play the distance, but it's not enough. Homeboys take game number 1.
And I was literally about to say that Sanji was the one who needed to lay down the hammer, and instantly Zorn, with the longest home run kick I've seen in a while, 2 screens away, closes out that game with a sick engage.
Very well played by Homeboys. I mean, just cleanly showing who's the batter boy.
He's Will Smith in this movie right now. And so far, hopefully, we do see Twisted Minds adjust for game number 2. They really need these points.
Most definitely, I love it. I mean, I got to see if Twisted Minds can come back. And like we said, we liked both drafts. I think it's just execution at this point for Twisted Minds. They need to find a way to deal with the aggressiveness of Homeboys and get them out of their face.
Honestly, we saw a slightly different game from some of the other groups we saw in the groups in wildcards, right? Now, it's not just about tempo, but at the same time, they have to make sure they control their opponents and tempo them out and scale faster. With that being said, let's throw it over to our panelist, LaFell. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Gideon. Now, I need your help, Gideon, so I hope you're hearing right now. Let Trex know it's Udil, not Udil.
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 Udil. And now we're looking at the game here, and I gotta say, very fast movements coming in from Homeboys, where they made sure that the tempo never stops. They made sure that Twisted Minds didn't have time to catch their breath.
Yeah, it's very difficult for Twisted Minds to deal with it because of the tempo that Homeboys was playing in, especially with this Cho.
4 out of 5.
That Zorn was very comfortable with. You see this kick, there wasn't even a much better kick from the bottom lane when we saw that they were able to finally shut down Hoda. But the fact that they have taken space, I think the real estate control here coming out from Homeboys is also, you know, too much for Twisted Minds to handle.
Yeah, even before the 5-minute mark, they were starting to threaten Hoda's purple buff, and that allowed for the kill score to be very stagnant.
Yeah.
Especially for an aggressive team like Homeboys and Twisted Minds. Both of these teams like to fight, but for a good 4 or 5 minutes, not much was happening, but that was the Homeboys' advantage.
We gotta talk about Zorn using the Thunderbelt first item.
Yeah,
it was only 13 stacks. Do you think 13 stacks is like still good enough? That's basically 13 hybrid defense.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Where are you gonna pick that up?
Yep. That's like always tenacity, even when you're not down a specific amount of HP. And yeah, it's pretty significant, I think, especially because you also have that slow that goes with it. You're very confident if you're the Cho. Very hard to take down. It's like I think the 14 hybrid defense is essentially minus 7%-ish or 8% damage dealt, which is significant.
You stack that up with only fast, and he's always cocked and loaded. He's a one-man kill squad.
I mean, like, here's the thing. Cho, like, the Zorn using the Cho, it almost doesn't matter the items that he uses, because, again, look at the way that he plays. He's really trying to bait out a lot of skills.
Yep.
He's like, I got 10 million dashes, man.
To be fair, Zorn has been playing Cho for the better part of half a decade.
Yep.
Yeah.
6 or 7 years now he's been playing Cho.
He's been playing since season 1.
Yep.
Even before.
Yeah.
So he's so comfortable with this. I'm watching him do nothing, but just the same, he's threatening a kill on most of the members of Twisted Minds. That's how scary dangerous Zorn's Cho is.
Especially now that there's a lot of changes with the Cho. I think it's generally a buff, especially with the fact that you can, your Shunpo is, or your the Jit, Kun, and the Do actually reaches a lot of space now. And this is the... I wonder why you're not happy when Homeboys is winning like this.
No. Here's the thing. Whenever he makes a pun, say the Udil pun again.
It's very hard to deal with.
Look at me. I roll my eyes back so far, it went through my ear.
It's 4 out of 5, though. It's a pretty solid one.
It's a pretty solid one. Yeah.
Why do you feel so sorry about it?
I have a love-hate relationship with Wolf. I mean, The thing is, now we got to talk about the storyline here. Twisted Minds, they need to win the next game.
Obviously.
No doubt.
Because if they lose the next game against Homeboys, they're eliminated. Because again, we got to talk about this. Homeboys wins 2-0, knockout stage, good for them. But for Twisted Minds, losing 0-2, that's the end of their journey.
Yeah, I kind of get the idea why they went in for the Nolan plus the Nathan. I still feel that this combo requires a lot of time, a lot of farming. And if you're going to be playing up against a team like Homeboys who kind of just control the tempo, this is like Minotaur, Nathan, Nolan. Obviously, in the latter portions of the game, that's really, really strong. But in the early stages, it's hard to keep up. You're always just like following and reacting to where Zorn will be. Unfortunately, that's not the way that you have to play against Homeboys. You have to match the tempo.
Yeah, here and now is what matters in that matchup. Because again, you're two aggressive teams.
Yeah.
And I don't know how Coach Nobody and the rest of Homeboys were able to force Twisted Minds into the defensive position. They straight up went up.
Yeah.
I feel like they just understand how Zorn plays. Zorn is the one, like, usually we talk about mid trios. Zorn's like, I'm a mid solo, man. Like, I can solo mid all of these guys. And I feel like that's a special secret that Homeboys has that gives a lot of space to Chibi, because we got to talk about Chibi. His farming rate is insane.
Yep.
He was farming heroes.
Farming heroes, farming buffs, farming jungles, farming minions, farming turrets. He's getting everything.
Yeah, I think this is the strength of the Roger when you're left to win in the jungle role. If you're not able to contest it, which is, by the way, very difficult, you're left in a spot where you have two cores that you have to think about. Like the Claude as well as the Roger deals a lot of damage, but in the early stages, if you get into Sky Piercer range earlier on in the jungle Roger, it's very hard to contain.
Like every single time, once you have that Sky Piercer, it's like a battle within. Battle within. Battle within! Soul Vessel Series skins is out. Amon, Vessel of Deceit, and Hanabi, Vessel of Rage are slated for a stunning reveal. So make sure you guys grab the skin right now. Not even gonna delay. Get it right now because it's juicing. Juicing is also the new mage hero that has arrived with her exclusive pack. Get the hero and her ethereal Serenity skin during the launch week, which is right now for 469 diamonds. And if you guys buy it with battle points, it's only 51 diamonds to get the skin. So get it now.
Yeah.
And if you wait, then it's gonna get too long. And we gotta talk more, because right now we gotta look at the Sony MVP of the game, and I believe it's Zorn. It has to be Zorn.
And here you are rolling your eyes at Wolves who deal with it. But no doubt, it's gotta be Zorn, right?
No, it's gotta be like
look at
got
that.
the kick very early on as soon as they were able to get the turtle, and then the flicker Jit Kundo was so perfect coming up from Zorn. He's gonna have another one here, the bottom lane.
I like this one.
Yep, Hoda shows himself.
It was a good kick.
Very good kick, in fact. And it was the flicker Jit Kundo, or flicker Do, because it's just that.
Shout out to Merku and Naisu as well. They just arrived. But either way, it's looking at how, like, there's a lot of highlight plays, but I feel like the more important parts are the one that's not highlighted, because having one person slowing an entire team down, like put that into perspective. You trade 1 for 5. His roamer, he has 9 KDA. 9 KDA as a roamer.
More impressive than the 9 KDA is the 90% kill participation, right? We were talking about how Chibi was farming heroes. You know who his assistant was? It was Zorn.
It was Zorn, man.
And the fact that they are playing Udil's, one of Udil's
signature heroes.
Yeah. With the Farsa. Imagine getting both Farsa and Cho 2024 with Udil and Zorn. And, you definitely know what the result will be.
Something else to note, his emblem set. He was rocking Wilderness Blessing.
With a Thrill.
And Thrill, that just shows that he means business.
Yep.
He needs that little bit of extra damage to just finish the job.
I mean, he got some true damage coming in from the Thunderbelt, though. So Thunderbelt first item for the Cho. Might be the new meta. Zorn showing here at MSC. And according to our analysts, 13 stacks is more than enough.
I think, yeah.
At 13 minutes?
At 13 minutes,
that's
a lot.
I mean, he was really using his whole kit to just really, get the steps in. And again, every 4 seconds, you get that in and you hit a hero. Pow, that's an extra 1 hybrid defense.
Yeah, that's right. Which is, yeah, like I said, it's very important for fighters, most importantly, because you have a lot of life skills. And especially because you're applying the vision for your team.
That's a stack. See?
Yep.
Now we got to talk about a story here, because we got to remember Twisted Mind said in their own region, MENA is just a necessary step towards MSC. Now, I don't know about you guys, but was that a humbling experience?
That was a wake-up call.
That was a wake-up call.
That was a reality check. Yeah. Served up in MYR.
You know what? Here's the thing.
Yes.
That's you guys' opinion. Now I gotta ask our casters. Let's actually hear from Trex as well as Gideon. What do you guys think of game number 1 so far?
That's what we think about it. It feels like a hydraulic press taking away our identities personally.
Yeah.
Just raw pain. Just raw pain.
Are they still talking about the game?
Yes.
It looks like they're dealing with something else.
Yeah, that's the wolf face.
That's the wolf.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone just does the wolf face. So there you go. Those are our casters in case you guys want to know how they look like. They look like they're having wolf's face while they're casting the game. So talking about that, game number 2. What adjustment has to be made? Do you have to respect the show?
Absolutely. You have to respect the Cho and the Farsa.
You know what you look like?
What?
You look like Nemesis from Resident Evil 3.
Yeah, I'd take that.
No, you're talking about the show.
We're having fun here, guys. But either ways,
you know.
going to game number 2 again, original question. Did they got to change it up? Because like you guys said, Nathan, Nolan, maybe too much of the late game.
If they wanted to do that late game composition, it always has to match what the mid duo will be. For example, the Valentina plus the Minotaur, although that is a strong mid lane, like when it comes to like securing their own lane, it's not as fast as a Cho plus a Farsa, right? So if they want to give up the Cho plus the Farsa, maybe they should pick a marksman that is not that dependent, or you know, Nathan is like the extreme when it comes to
I think we have to put into perspective. So Nathan is a 3-item hero as well. The difference is between him and like a Claude is that the items on a Nathan is much more expensive, man. That Holy Crystal, 3,000.
Exactly. And the clock can protect itself.
And the clock
more reliably.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's one of the things that they have to change up. At the same time, Nathan as well as Nolan, altogether, they're very greedy. They need to take up a lot of space. True. Because Nolan, if you play it correctly, of course, you're going to get kills in the early stages, but then it's difficult to pull off. You need a lot of items for that.
Yeah, just to paint you a picture, Nate and Nolan, those are 2 time travelers. Yeah. Multiversal explorers. You have an absentee core for the first 10 minutes.
Nolan even let... Can I say it? You know, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it. But now we're starting into the second game of this match. Homeboy still banning out a Fanny and still banning out that Louis despite being the first pick. So Udil's not feeling Louis for now.
What are the odds of a chip for Cho trade?
Dude.
I'm excited for it. You know, we got Chibi. We got Udil. Udil. Big deal, Udil.
Big deal, Udil.
Big deal, Udil. Going noodles.
We'll see whether he's going to be cooking this time around. Because honestly, last game he was doing a phenomenal job at staying alive and trading. Resources against their opponent on Twisted Minds. But for now, as we get into this game, this could be it. Homeboy.
Twisted Minds essentially bring this a very similar draft, but the big difference here is that jungle. It is the Leo Mord instead of Hoda on a more assassin-y jungle.